Well, how's everybody doing? Thanks for visiting us here at the channel, Lake Erie and Midwestern. Hey, just want to give you guys a quick update on some of the changes in the roster that have happened over the past few days, past week or so. Got some Union Pacific power sitting here in front of you. Pretty excited about what we have going on. You guys actually saw this unit running in one of my most recent videos. I'll put a link to it up on the screen. It was running with a GP40, similar livery, Union Pacific number 664. This one I've lightly weathered. It's got a ton of miles on it, like 1,700 miles. I actually had an opportunity to buy a dummy, very much, very close, unit 2040, unit 2037. I had a chance to buy this one as a dummy. So I purchased it from the MTH warehouse sale. This was a couple months ago, actually. Have had some parts from various locomotives, various projects, some other stuff that I bought from the MTH warehouse sale that had some defects, and was able to turn that all into a powered unit. Now, one thing, the chassis on this one, powered chassis, was from a production sample. Only has 2 miles on the the mechanicals and the board and everything. Made some repairs to some wiring shorts that it had. So far, it seems, in my very limited space that I have here, it seems to run great. I still have to get headlights and marker lights on the front and rear operational. If you know what these look like on the inside, there's a little bit of a sub-board assembly, and because this started off life as a non-lit, non-electrified dummy, I don't have the actual lights. I do have those parts available. I'm just gonna have to dig them out and string them together, get it to look right. But we'll run this one in consist on the back side, so we won't have to worry about the lights. But I'm thinking I'm gonna take these all up and have a Union Pacific operating session. Let me get these 2 Jeeps out of the way. Well, actually, one thing I did do, because this one I had weathered, this one had some cosmetic issues that required me to weather it to kind of cover up those cosmetic issues. And because it was weathered, I decided to weather Unit 2037 in a similar fashion so that they have much the same appearance. Since they would have been delivered probably within days of each other, maybe on the same day, I wanted them to have a similar, a similar look. This one's got a little bit more grime and a little bit more kind of maybe the hint of rust. This one is more of a sun-bleached look. No real rust on it. Maybe a tad bit dirtier, but running in consist, I think they'll complement each other really nicely. I think they'll look really good together. So real excited to get these on the layout and run them as a pair. Next kind of step, you guys will see a couple six axle UP units on here. Push this one off to the side. This is an AC4400. Real unique locomotive. And I've done a bunch of research trying to figure out what the deal is with this one. Best I can tell. Some people said, well, back in the early 2000s, UP was painting yard and hump duty locomotives this gray color to kind of designate them as helpers, etc., etc. They would have never done that to a relatively new AC4400. This thing was less than 10 years old when I got this paint job. I did come across an email from a UP executive that got posted on one of the forums that this was a straight up painting mistake. And this did not live in this paint scheme very long. It got repainted into Armor Yellow Harbor Gray paint scheme shortly thereafter. There's only a couple pictures of it online. But I had a chance to get this one, made a trade with a local friend of mine. I had a Union Pacific Dash-9 with 1 mile on the odometer. This one's got about 95. But I really wanted this one. Reason being, I have the sister unit to this, number 6345, which is a PS3 unit. This is PS2. I cannot find any evidence that 6345 was ever painted in this scheme, so it might be some sort of fantasy scheme, I don't know. But 6344 definitely painted this way. So it lived for a minute in this paint scheme, very unique. I think it's kind of cool looking. So I wanted to get it up to the layout, get it on the layout and run it in consist with something similar. I don't know, I might still pull its sister out of the box and take them up there, run them as a pair, but have not run this Dash-8 yet. I've had this, I got this, this came from an estate sale via a friend of mine. several months ago and had not had the chance to run it. It's got 1 mile on the odometer, so it's essentially a brand new unit. This is a PS2 unit. I tell you, there's something about these Dash-8s, the sound sets. I think MTH did a really nice job on these guys. Really nice job on them. So really looking forward to getting this on the rails. Gonna have a UP operating session when I get up to. Look at that. Just lost a traction tire. Well, it's a PS2 unit and it's not a spring chicken. So I guess we're gonna have to put a new traction tire on it at some point. Maybe a whole set, because this thing's pretty dry. It's pretty dry. So maybe we'll get some fresh traction tires on this one all the way around. And last thing you want to do is be running it and have something throw a tire. It's really a drag when these things throw a tire. Some other stuff that I've been working on over the past week or two since I last spoke with you guys. Have weathered a couple freight cars. Trigger alert, if you're against weathering, don't watch. But have this Weaver naphthalene tanker car that I weathered up. It had been weathered and it wasn't the best weathering job. So all I did with this one was I essentially gave it some extreme sun fade and dust effects. The tops of it are beginning to show some fade. No real rust on this other than what was already there, but it all got faded down. Painted the underside a little bit of a darker, kind of dirtier color, and painted the dishes of the wheels to make them a little less rusty looking, a little more grimy looking. So I've always liked this car. Never liked the way it looked. It does have a broken railing right here, so I'll have to just heat up and bend some styrene to make this replicate these railings up here. We'll get around to doing that at some point. This one, I bought this particular box car. It's a Weaver 50-footer with the intent of weathering it and weathering it hard. I came across this picture that I really thought looked awesome. And I was like, that's the one. That's the picture that I'm going to use as a sort of reference or inspiration. Didn't try to make it exact, but I'll put the picture on the screen so you can see both of them. Really like the way it turned out. The only thing with these Weavers, this thing is super light. It has no real weight to it. So I'm gonna probably have to put some weight over the trucks, some heavy bolts or something. I'll hot glue them over there. Otherwise, this guy's gonna have to live all the way at the tail end of a train because it just doesn't have enough weight not to get yanked off the tracks by a weight of a train behind it. So in any case, we're gonna be getting up to the layout this weekend and doing a run session. We have purchased 3 more backdrop sections. So we'll be installing those at some point in the not too distant future. They're currently in transit and I don't believe they're gonna get here before my brother goes out of town, and that's not a one-person job. 2 people that know what they're doing can do it, but it's really, a lot of times it's more like a 3-person job. In any case, just wanted to give you guys a quick update, kind of give you a preview of what to expect in the coming future. Got some layout updates. My brother's been working on some scenery. I'm gonna take care of some scenery when I'm up there over the weekend, so we'll show you what kind of progress we make. Got some other stuff that I'm gonna be shooting some video of. Some other roster moves that I'll explain to you. Pretty excited about them, actually. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But in any case, I appreciate everybody stopping by and visiting with us. Hey, happy railroading. Weather here has been kind of crummy. Come on, spring, where'd you go? It got warm, it's been rainy, it's been cold, it's been gray. But hey, I know the nice weather for us up in the Northeast and the mid-Atlantic portion of the country, and the upper Midwest. I know spring's coming, right? So hey, happy railroading, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us here at the Lake Erie Midwestern. Really appreciate everybody that spends a few minutes here and there. If you sent me an email recently, I did go in and reply to emails. So, you know, look for those replies. Sorry I didn't get back to everybody sooner on the questions and stuff that they had. I just hadn't logged into the email in a minute, so apologize for that. I'll be better in the future. But hey, thanks for visiting. Thanks for joining us here at the Lake Erie Midwestern. Happy railroading, everybody. Take care.